Telling your tenants that you are selling the property they live in can feel uncomfortable. Many landlords delay this conversation because they worry about causing panic, late rent payments, or tenants leaving early. But when handled properly, this conversation can be straightforward and calm for both sides. The key is clarity, timing, and reassurance. Why tenants react the way they do. When tenants hear that a property is being sold, they often assume the worst. Their first thoughts usually involve eviction, sudden rent increases, or being forced to move quickly. These fears are common and understandable, especially if they have heard negative stories from others. In reality, most of these concerns are not accurate. In many cases, leases transfer with the property. This means the new owner must honor the existing lease terms until it expires. Even in situations without a written lease, local laws typically require proper notice before any changes can be made. Understanding this helps you guide the conversation. Your role is not just to inform tenants, but to reassure them that their situation is likely more stable than they think. The right time to tell your tenants? Timing matters more than most landlords realize. Some choose to wait until the sale is nearly complete, hoping to avoid unnecessary stress if the deal falls through. While that instinct makes sense, waiting too long can create bigger issues. Tenants may feel blindsided or hear about the sale from someone else, which damages trust. A better approach is to inform tenants once you have accepted an offer and feel confident the deal will close. This gives them time to process the news, ask questions, and prepare if needed without creating unnecessary uncertainty early on. If you are working with a fast-moving cash buyer, the timeline may be much shorter. Some deals close within 7 to 14 days. In those cases, it is best to inform tenants immediately after accepting the offer to avoid last-minute confusion. What to say? Keep it simple. You do not need a long or overly formal message. A clear and direct explanation works best. Whether you speak in person or send a written notice, focus on these key points. Be upfront. Let them know you are selling the property. Explain the lease. Reassure them that their current lease remains in place. Share the timeline. Give an estimated closing date so they know what to expect. Discuss showings. If needed, let them know how and when access may be required. Clarify rent payments. Explain how rent will be handled after the sale. Invite questions. Give them space to ask anything they are unsure about. Keeping the message simple reduces confusion and builds trust. How different sale types affect tenants. Not all property sales are the same, and each type can impact tenants differently. Traditional financed sale. These typically take 30 to 60 days. Tenants usually have more time to adjust, and leases transfer to the new owner without issue. Cash buyer sale. These can close in as little as 1 to 2 weeks. While the lease still transfers, tenants have less time to prepare, making early communication even more important. Tenant buyout situation. In some cases, tenants may be offered money to move out early. This is negotiated directly and should always be handled respectfully and clearly. Foreclosure scenario. Timelines vary, but tenants still have rights under federal and local laws. Proper notice must always be given. No matter the situation, transparency helps prevent misunderstandings. Protecting your tenants during the process. Being thoughtful about your tenants during a sale is not just the right thing to do, it also makes the process smoother. Tenants who feel informed and respected are far more likely to cooperate with showings, maintain the property, and transition smoothly to the new owner. Here are a few important points to handle carefully. Respect notice requirements before entering the property. Communicate clearly and consistently. Handle the security deposit properly, either transfer it or return it according to local laws. The security deposit is one of the most common sources of conflict during a sale, so getting this right from the beginning avoids future problems. What if a tenant reacts negatively? Even with clear communication, some tenants may not respond well. They might become uncooperative, refuse showings, or stop communicating. If this happens, stay calm and professional. Start documenting everything. Keep written records of all communication, notices, and requests. This protects you if issues escalate. Make sure you follow your local laws regarding entry and notice periods. In many areas, landlords must give 24 to 48 hours notice before entering the property. If a tenant continues to be difficult, you still have options. Some buyers, especially experienced investors, are comfortable purchasing properties with tenants already in place. These buyers often understand how to handle such situations without requiring perfect conditions, making the transition easier for everyone. A smooth tenant experience often leads to a smoother sale overall. Small actions can make a big difference. Give as much notice as possible. Be honest and avoid vague explanations. Stay available for questions. Keep communication respectful. When tenants feel included rather than surprised, they are more likely to cooperate and less likely to create complications. Final thoughts. Telling your tenants about a sale does not have to be stressful. When you approach the conversation with honesty, clarity, and respect, most tenants respond calmly. They simply want to understand what is happening and how it affects them. Focus on providing accurate information, giving proper notice, and addressing their concerns early. When you handle this step well, the rest of the selling process becomes much easier. If you are planning to sell a tenant-occupied property and want a smoother, faster process, it helps to work with buyers who understand these situations. If you have questions or want to explore your options, feel free to reach out. Getting the right guidance early can make the entire experience easier for you and your tenants.